Queen.
Queen. What are we listening to today? It seems like we switched up the vibe.
We switched it up. You know, I'm trying to give the people some nice positive energy, frequency. You know, I'm on my holistic wellness starter kit shit. So you got your YouTube videos that's got your like the frequency music. You know, you have your sage, you have your nature, feet in the ground, on the dirt, rocks on, you know, the starter kit.
Yes.
Starter kit. So yes, I just wanted to try something a little different. Like I thought it would be cool to like, you know, start off our podcast with that. And because you know, we talk about trying to come to this space with good energy to not have that recycle onto our listeners. You know what I'm saying? As negative energy. Kind of like what our good sis Jazz taught us. She don't make candles unless she's in a good energy space.
You know what? In which case, let's go ahead and skip ahead to Black on Black support. I have my Meet Me at the Altar candle lit and going. It smells like fresh roses. Like it doesn't smell like rose scent. It literally smells like fresh roses. It's amazing. I love this candle.
So she made it with
my Black Sunflower Co. If you don't know how to spell that, check my Instagram because I be posting about it all the time. Because I literally
it's so good that it make you want to cuss. It might make you want to slap your mama, but it will make you want to cuss.
Yeah, I did curse in my review video. Such a professional. I wanted to let you guys know that if you are listening from the podcast realm, that we do have a visual this week. We are on Zoom together, Queen Sid the Great and I. Queen, who are you wearing?
I am wearing a re-gifted, recycled, my favorite, period. This is one of my favorite gifts. It's got my dad, my grandpa, Malcolm X on it. It's getting a little washed out, but yeah, I'm gonna wear this home until ain't nothing left on it. It's gonna be
until you can't see anything.
They're gonna be like, it's a Malcolm X hoodie, just mind your business. But yes, my best friend gave this to me when it shrunk in the wash, which y'all might not know in this living room. When we order things that are too big, we give them to Aisha. When our things shrink, we give them to me.
Hello, reduce, reuse, recycle. I'm trying to remember what brand that is. I think that's Kinetic Knowledge, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's it. I still remember. I remember when you got this hoodie, and I think I slept, and then I kept trying to find it, but I think it was one of them like, girl, if you slept, you missed it. Yeah. So I recall. That's exactly what it is.
It's if you're not watching, if you're listening today, guys, well, hopefully our audio and everything still sounds good for you guys. But if you're not watching today, it is a very, I guess maybe non-traditional picture of Malcolm X. Like it's not one that you're used to seeing. It's not, you know, him in turmoil holding a gun, or you know the praying hand, the thought piece, think piece. It's really nice.
Those things he thought when
I see you, Queen, with the Kinetic Knowledge. If you haven't checked out that brand, go ahead and check them out on Instagram. Kinetic Knowledge, obviously that's spelled with a K.
Indeed. Queen, what are you wearing today since we're on the red carpet?
Come on, we're on the red carpet. Let me check. Okay, this is
legendary. Big fat balls?
Big fat balls. I am wearing a pink Legendary Roots t-shirt. If you've heard of Legendary Roots and check them out, they always have like really cute shirts with nice things, and it's American Apparel, I think. Los Angeles Apparel. Anyway, it's a good quality t-shirt, but it says PSA, don't steal our culture and ignore our struggle. Amen.
And a nice pink. We love pink. We love a pink.
Queen got her pink do-rag on. I got my pink shirt. We's ready today, baby. We was on the same page. We didn't even know what each other was wearing.
Yeah, I had to throw the do-rag on because I need a haircut. But when we come back next week, now that we doing the visuals, honey, I'm gonna get these hoes a run for their money.
Okay. Also, Sam, I tried to basically paste down my hair and look cute for y'all. And when I took my scarf off, things went terribly awry. So I just put a hat on.
Oh, I understand. I'm woofing it, as the niggas say. It's not laying down like I wanted to, so I had to throw the do-rag.
Woofing it. I'm woofing it all over because, again, global pomegranate. You know, ain't been to no waxes and threadings and such. So I got wolf neck, girl. I be having hair on my neck and my chin. I be like, oh Lord, baby, I need to get it together. Y'all know I be a whole catfish on the ground.
Okay, aren't we all? Queen, are you ready?
Yes. Yes, we're doing a podcast. Oh, hello.
We are a little bit. We too excited about the visuals, but we're here. We're ready. Do you want to do your icebreaker first, or you want me to do mine first?
Yeah, because apparently yours is gonna get raunchy, I guess. So I'm gonna go with my icebreaker first. Mine is, Queen, we talked about this, so you can't say you weren't prepared. What is your favorite Black privilege?
Oh yes. I think did I not? I think I said my favorite Black privilege was being Black, so not having to like pretend to be Black or having to be a culture vulture.
What?
You know what I'm saying? I don't have to steal the braids and call them boxer braids. I don't have to, you know, steal Black people's dances on TikTok and make them famous because I'm white. You know, that's my favorite. What about you, Queen?
Mine is that the sun does not hate and obliterate me when I walk outside. It doesn't poison me and make me itch and red. I mean, it will after if I, you know, get real ignorant with it and oil myself up like a roasted chicken. But other than that, the sun loves me. I don't run from it. I don't hide from it. I don't get scared that I'm gonna, you know, be wrinkly and red. So I appreciate that about my Blackness very, very much so.
I apologize, y'all. My phone was going off. But yes, I heard you, Queen. Yes, come through. That is a great thing.
The sun loves me, and that is my Black privilege.
We carry that sun in our skin. Yes, ma'am. All right. Are you ready? Let me get my thing.
Oh gosh.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
In 30 seconds, I want you to tell me
what
everything wrong with Coming to America.
Oh, you know, I can't tell you because I only watched the first 20 minutes.
What made you turn it off?
I just thought it was like childish, and I like Eddie Murphy, and Eddie Murphy is extremely vulgar. If you ever watch like his old stand-up, like 80s stand-up, you would be like, this is the raunchiest nigga on God's planet Earth. And you know, with it being a PG film, like obviously I've seen a lot of child movies like for Eddie Murphy, like when he, you know, does Dr. Dolittle and shit like that. But I was like, oh, I want the raunch.
You wanted an adult time.
Leslie gave us some raunch. I appreciated that. It just wasn't raunchy enough for me, so I cut it off. But I am gonna watch it. I just was like, that particular day, I was like, this ain't giving what it needs to give, so I went to sleep.
Okay. Since you did that in 20 seconds, in 30 seconds or less, tell me everything wrong with Love and Basketball.
Oh my God, everything. The entire storyline. People, who the fuck is, first of all, Quincy is a spoiled little bitch, first and foremost. Y'all know I hate, if you know me, you know I hate basketball. And I played basketball, so my teammates would be like, bitch, are you okay? That's everybody's favorite movie. I hate that movie. I hate it. Because Quincy was being a spoiled little bitch. First of all, everybody's daddy probably cheated on their mama. I'm sorry. Is this breaking news? Everybody's daddy was cheating. And you knew your daddy was a hoe. So you knew your daddy was cheating. And you wanted your girl to risk her life, her dreams, her goals and aspirations so you could cry about your parents breaking up. Bitch, all our parents broke up. You are annoying. You're annoying as fuck because you were being so spoiled and entitled that you decided to cheat on your girl because your daddy was a cheating ass nigga. Get the fuck ASAP. And then you whole life, you have enjoyed your life. You're a grown ass man. You're engaged to goddamn Tyra the fuck Banks. And then you have the nerve to say, listen, if this bitch takes off her panties while we playing basketball, I'm gonna take her instead of my fiance. Get the fuck ASAP. I wanted better
Black
for
Queen.
Sinai, okay?
Mm-hmm.
She deserved better. She didn't deserve no bitch ass nigga like Quincy. In the words of Kirk Franklin, no bitch ass nigga like Quincy because she didn't deserve. She deserves better. And I wanted her to have a better husband. And I just thought the movie was awful because of it.
Okay, so the play you for your heart part was all right with you? Was it?
So the movie itself, cute movie, but like the storyline, I was like, trash, hot garbage. I don't like it. Yeah. The best part of the movie was Kyla Pratt pushing his ass down to the floor. That's it.
Yeah, no, I saw somebody say, based, you know, Love and Basketball, a lot of people are coming to the realization that it is trash. But I also saw somebody say,
I'm glad people are getting on my train over here with me because
somebody else was like, and let's not get on like Brown Sugar. And I was like, wow, a lot of our favorite Black classics are probably hella problematic in the way that the woman was treated.
Absolutely. So, problematic. Yeah. Telling Black women to please settle.
Yeah, indeed. Okay. I was just so excited about that because I know how much you hate that movie. So I was like, I can't wait to be like 30 seconds or less, everything wrong with. So yeah, I'm excited. All right.
What a good time.
Now that we have broken the ice, it's time for us to get into the things. If this is your first time listening or watching us, we do our month in review. On my side, Aisha calls it Look Back at It because she's a vulgar queen. So we are going to get into the things. I have one, Queen. How many do you have?
One, because we have a shared interest.
Okay. Kirko Franklin.
Kirko Bangs Franklin. Plies Franklin. Yeah.
Pinky Franklin, if you will.
Pinky Franklin. Dead.
If you will. I got that from my favorite RodneyThaVoice, which I'll get to him later on Black on Black Support.
Dead.
If y'all do not know, a audio was leaked where Kirk Franklin is berating his son with many of threats and many of swear words, including, I took some notes. He said such things as calling him a bitch ass, a skinny motherfucking ass. He threatened to put his foot up his ass, and I will break your neck were also all things that were said via this call. Now, we have heard people say many a thing across the internet, across platforms, across podcasts, across Instagram. Coming to the defense, it seems like, a multitude of Kirk Franklin. Right. But I think what you will hear on this podcast, or what you will see on this podcast, is that we finna run this down for filth, okay?
We are not team Kiki. That was so funny. My mama did that too. This is hilarious. Nigga, grow up. Nope. If that's what y'all came here for, not on today. Not on today.
Yeah, not in this living room. In this living room, we would like to hold people accountable, right? Like, I get, like, me and Aisha have had this conversation over the phone because it took us a minute to get to this new episode, but so we talked about it before, and we were talking about, again, people coming to the defense, but we were talking about, like, being accountable and holding people accountable, but doing so because a lot of people are saying, like, oh, this is none of our business, this should have never been leaked, but let's be real, none of any of this is our business. So we breaking up with Quavo is not our business, but we're talking about it, right? That's just how the internet works. That's how social media works. So since we're here, I'm going to say, for me specifically, I'm going to speak for this audio clip. Yes, we don't know what happened before, but I'm going to speak for this little snippet, right? Not okay for anyone to talk to anyone like this. Like, I want to live in a world where we treat people with respect and decency, and this was not that. Like, and I think it's compounded because it is this person's dad. And yes, this might be a grown person, but one of the things that me and Aisha talked about was this idea that, like, we want to be first place in a whole bunch of different areas, right? We want to sit front row. We want to wear the best brands. We want to drive the fancy cars. But it's like, can't we aspire to how we treat people being, like, what's the word I'm looking for? High end. It's high end, right? How about we be high end in our moral standing, if that makes sense? So I was just very sad. I felt, and it was even, I think for me, it was even sadder that so many people were like, oh, it's okay. Like I said earlier, my mama talked to me like this. My daddy talked to me like this. Oh, the son shouldn't have defended himself in any way. He should have just sat there because it's his dad. Oh, hell no. Nope.
Right.
Nope.
Right.
So yeah, I have a lot of things I want to say, but, I want us to go back and forth on this subject. So, Queen.
Yeah. So, God, where do we start? Let's just start with the cursing out, right? Like people say, this ain't our business. Okay, well, it's on the internet, and like you said, everything we talk about is not our business. Like, literally, nothing is our business, but we make it our business because, social media. But with that being said, when somebody comes to you saying, hey, y'all, this person that y'all celebrate as a saint, this is how he speaks to me. Also, if you are, so two things. One, he recorded the conversation. Kirk, in his apology, which we'll get to later, said he had no right to do that, basically. The son said that his father also recorded the conversation because he said, I don't trust you, so I'm recording this conversation. So he said, when his dad said he didn't post the full clip, he's like, well, Dad, why don't you post the full clip since you also recorded our whole conversation? But with that being said, this is something that you said when you knew you were being recorded. But otherwise, how do you speak to him at any other time that he knew he should record the conversation? That means that this is not new. He was not surprised that you were going to speak to him like this. This is something that he has experienced before. And here's the thing for the Black internet, is like, I saw a meme that was like, Kirk Franklin's son, my dad, y'all, everybody, my daddy cussed me out. In the Black community, man, shut your bitch ass up. Like, he laughing about it, right? But how do we say out of one side of our mouth that we want Black men to find a sacred space in us and to be able to have mental health and mental healing? Because the issues that we be like, oh, Black man did this and X, Y, and Z to me, is because Black men don't have healing. Hurt people hurt people. So when somebody says, hey, I'm being hurt, I'm being abused, I'm being verbally abused, and y'all say, shut up, nigga, that's your dad, or shut up, you grown, you 30, or whatever. Right. We're supposed to let our parents talk to us like that.
Right.
Maybe y'all.
Right.
No parent of mine is talking to me like that. For one, my father would have never spoke to me like that because he loves me and values me. And when you love and value somebody, you don't decide, I'm gonna talk to them worse than I talk to my coworkers, my boss, my granny. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you love somebody, you don't treat them bad. You don't be like, I love you so much, I'm gonna literally talk to you worse than anybody will ever talk to you in life.
Right. Right.
Because again, a perfect stranger ain't just gonna randomly say, Aisha, you a bitch ass nigga and I'm gonna break your neck. But the person that's supposed to love me, my father, is gonna talk to me like that.
Yeah. Shit weird. The shit is weird.
Very, very weird. And I just feel like you can't expect. It's like when women, right, and raising their sons or men, whatever, and their son falls down, they're like, oh, get up, put some dirt in it, you'll be okay, toughen up, you're a man. Yeah. But when a baby girl does it, you want to hold and coddle her, right? But and then we end up dating boyfriends, you know, husbands, whatever, and be like, I have no idea why he won't show me his emotional side. Right. I hate that my man never cries. I hate that my man doesn't coddle me when I'm sad. When the fuck was he supposed to learn that?
Right.
If we don't allow Black men to have a space to have mental freedom and be able to express themselves and be able to say, I'm being hurt, can somebody please help me?
Yeah. Yeah. And you said a lot of things. And one of the things that, like, same thing when we talked about in our conversation before we were doing this one now was Nikki Giovanni, when she did the interview with James Baldwin, talking about how you're not going to talk to your boss like that, like you just said, right? So on top of, you know, you have those intrapersonal relationships, yes, but I think it's also very sad that it's like we have nowhere else to put this energy, right? Like maybe my boss spoke to me badly at my job, but because I want my job, I value my job, and I have to value my job, right? Because how I'm going to eat, how I'm going to do that, I'm not going to say anything back, but then I can come home and take it out on the easy targets in my life, being my children or my wife or my husband, depending on who.
And why would your salary be more important to you than your relationship with your family? Like, to me, I understand we got to have money to eat. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not going to go cussing out my boss either. But with that same energy, I'm not going to come cussing out my kids, because that relationship should be priceless, I would think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it's sad that we live in a world where it's almost like you have to make that boss-employee relationship better, because, right, I can't eat if I don't have this job, which is why I can't talk to you like that. But I'm still going to eat if I talk to my child like this, right? Mm-hmm. And then now I feel some kind of relief maybe because I got that energy out and I put it on this easy target. And speaking of easy targets, the other thing I thought about too was, and there's a lot of different things involved, of course, but I'm thinking about just how much easier of a target our anger or our disappointment is with women versus men, right? Because what's the difference between how Tokyo Tony was talking to Black China in that clip that went viral a couple years ago, a couple months, however long ago that was, versus how Kirk Franklin was talking to his son? Black China
and here's the thing. People are like, Tokyo, you know, oh my gosh, you're crackhead. She's a terrible mom. How dare she say those things to Black China? But Kirk Franklin gets a pass because he made Stomp. Like, why?
Yeah,
like, that's not fair. If anything, he should be at a higher standard. And it's not to say he's not human, he doesn't make mistakes. I'm not here to be like, he's so wrong, damn him to hell type of thing. But we're just pointing out what we know. We don't know the whole conversation. We don't know his relationship with his son in full, right? We don't know the full aspects. But all we know is a conversation that was recorded and that was released to the internet. So that's what we're speaking on. Like, it's unfair to be like, well, we don't know the whole thing, so I'm not gonna be mad at Kirk. We don't know the whole story to literally anything that we speak on. We only see what parts go viral, right? So it's very unfair to be like, I'm gonna give him a slide, but Tokyo, the Black woman, her angry ass, like, she should be condemned, but a Black father, totally fine.
It's okay. And then going back again into gender, right? This is a guy. So it's like you just said earlier, we coddle our girls like, oh, maybe you felt some kind of way because it's Black China's a female. Like, oh, it's sad to see this woman be talked to this way. But this man, simply because he is a man, and it's okay if somebody just said, I'm gonna break your fucking neck, in that somebody being your dad. Because again, what's the difference between Black China mama saying, I'm okay if you commit suicide or whatever crazy shit she said, versus Kirk Franklin saying, I'm going to break your neck? Like, those are like equally bad. Like, it wasn't even on some, oh, Black China was way up here. It was like, no, them shits was pretty close. But we responded so differently when it was Black China's mom. So it's like, again, with it being worse, whether it's, oh, it's worse because it's a woman and a woman, or it's just worse because it's women and a man, like, or whatever, or even, you know, and again, people are saying, like, there's the whole Christianity side of it. There's the whole, this is just supposed to just, like I said, again, being in the Black community. I'm not saying other communities don't do it, but all I can speak for is my experience as a Black person. Oh, that's just, I'm your parent. You're supposed to take it. And that's very sad.
And I think one of a big main issue is that people are like, people, you know, obviously love to throw the Bible and the Bible verses around and Christianity, this and that, whenever it's convenient. But it's like, I don't even care that he's a gospel singer. Not relevant. I don't care that, you know, he's involved in the church. Not relevant to me. That doesn't make it better or worse, or he gets more or less of a pass. I'm not even saying he's a Christian, he shouldn't be allowed to curse. Cursing, I feel like, is natural. Losing your temper can be a natural thing, you know, if you're not actively working on it. That's not the issue. The issue is the threat to do bodily harm. The issue is, which we will get to, the apology that was not one. And just the fact that everybody can give him a pass and be like, but he may stomp. We're not going to stop listening to Kirk. Nobody even said stop listening. We just think that he should take accountability for how he spoke to his literal offspring.
That's literally it. And the other thing too is that, so two of the last things I want to say was that I think one of the reasons why people are saying, oh, I'm on Kirk's side, is because to admit that he has done something wrong here may be a reflection of us and what we're doing, right? Whether it be, this is how my parents spoke to me, but I don't want to say that my parents did this harmful, bad thing. So therefore, oh no, it's just not bad. Or I myself am this kind of parent, or not even necessarily, it don't even have to be like you just said. It don't even got to be that I'm this person, I'm this parent. I have had these moments, but I don't want to be wrong or a bad parent or a bad person. So therefore I have to say, oh, it's okay. What Kirk did is okay because I do that shit and I just don't want y'all to know that I do that shit.
Right, 1,000%. And so many people are like, man, if your mama ain't never whoop whoop, and it's like, this is the thing, you're confusing discipline with abuse. And if you had a mother that said, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, or I'm gonna hit you with this frying pan, or whip you till I get tired with this belt, those things are not discipline, those things are abuse. And I'm sorry if this is a long, hard look in the mirror kind of thing. And it's not to say I didn't experience that all of y'all got abused. I got abused too. You know what I'm saying? I can come to the light and I can understand that, which is why I won't be having any children to also further abuse and to give trauma to. Yeah. But with that being said, just because your parents did it and you had good parents doesn't mean that it wasn't abuse. And it doesn't mean that they're a bad parent because they did bad things, right?
Yeah.
You know, your mistakes don't define who you are as a total person or as your title, right?
Absolutely.
Like being in the church and you curse doesn't mean you're no longer in the church or you're not a valid Christian or whatever you want to call yourself, right? It means you made a mistake and you should come up to that mistake, because how do you, as a Christian, want God to forgive you if you don't move through life trying to forgive others and to also apologize when you need to?
Yeah. And the last thing I wanted to say was I thought about Will and Jada, right? Like and if y'all haven't heard it before, it's older now, but they did an interview and Will was talking about how Jada like cursed at him. They were having a game night at their house and they were having a good time, and Will was saying something.
I don't know if you heard it from somewhere else, but I was going to add, if people want to go find that interview, it's on the Red Table Talk. They have that same conversation on the Red Table Talk. So if you find the episode with it's just him and Jada, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah. And so he's like, they were having a game night and he was saying something and Jada ended up yelling out like, Will, shut the fuck up in front of everybody. And his child was also in the room. And he said that, at some point or another, they pulled each other to the side and he was like, hey, I grew up in a household of abuse. I want to continue that abuse. I can't be in this relationship if this continues. And for 20 years, they have not cursed at each other. And when I heard that, and again, it's not to say a wife is over a child is over a wife. I'm not here to say none of that. I just think that it's just about him having discipline. He cared enough about this particular thing to make sure he didn't do it and ask that of someone he cared about, right? So at minimum, it's just about having discipline. And like we said, we're not perfect. We're just humans. There'll be times when you lose your temper, but it's just like you said earlier, the fact that he already knew to record it, Kirk Franklin knew to record it. So it's like, where is the saying, like, let me step back, let me walk out the room. If Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, and who you're not going to tell me probably didn't have moments where they was really upset with each other, right? Could go, I'm about to be speaking to you out of a place of love. I'm going to walk out right now.
Yeah, because that was a very specific thing they said. I cannot speak to you with love right now. I cannot speak to you the way you deserve to be treated to as my partner, as my wife, as my husband, whatever. So I will come back when I can speak to you the way you deserve to be treated, the way you deserve to be spoken to. And we can still have a productive conversation. Because it's not about pushing things under the rug and never having the conversation.
Right.
It's about saying, let me check myself. I'm angry. And most people, I would assume, when you're angry, you say things you don't mean, or you say things that you shouldn't say in general. Yeah. And you should take a break and come back when you're not as angry. Because if you wait 72 hours, right, and you go back to have that same conversation, are you heated anymore? Probably not. Are you even remembering the small details that maybe weren't even the bigger issue of what you were mad about, but they added fuel to your fire? Mm-hmm. If you come back after a few days or a few hours, whatever you need to ground yourself and be like, I'm no longer steaming at the ears, so now I can speak to you out of love. But if you as an adult haven't decided that that's an important thing in your life to speak to people with love, then that needs to be something that's addressed as far as your own mental health and what you decide to accept from your parents, from your grandparents, from your kids, from anybody. Yeah. If you cannot speak to me in love, you are not allowed to speak to me right now, and vice versa. I am not allowed to speak to you right now because I'm speaking with anger, and I don't want to be that kind of person. You have to decide as an adult to be that way, because I can't think of like, you know, big moments, but there's been times I've been mad at my friends and I'm still never going to talk to my friends that way. So why would I talk to my kids that way? Why would I talk to my parents and whatever that way? I don't do that.
Yeah.
That's important to me, to not say mean and hurtful things to my friends and people I love and value. So I encourage you, if you have not already taken that step to your self-healing and your growth, to go ahead and do that so you don't raise babies that have to experience trauma that you justify by saying, well, my parents did it too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you said you want to talk about the apology.
Right. So I guess I'll kind of like speed this up because I kind of want to get to the latter part. So in Kirk's apology, didn't apologize. He apologized to the internet for hearing him curse. He did not apologize to his son for cursing at him. And mind you, he does not have to put that on the internet if he chooses not to. That is his business. But I just wanted to point out that when we apologize, you know, if you are going to apologize to the public, then you probably should also apologize to the person that you hurt. And we said last week, basically, you know, you don't owe those private things publicly. But in his apology, he was literally blaming his son for getting cursed out.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I didn't see the apology. I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, he said, y'all heard me curse. I have had such a trying relationship with my son. We have tried therapy. It has been so bad. My son is about to be 33 years old, and he recorded a conversation, you know, violating our privacy. So it's like, not an apology. So don't apologize to us. Yeah. Apologize to the person that you hurt, and apologize to the person that you obviously, even while making an apology video, still are not sorry to. Like that, I think that's the bigger issue. It's like, when you made your apology, it was clear that you didn't feel bad for what you did to your son. You apologized that the internet had to hear the singer of Stomp curse.
Yeah, and it's so sad because, again, that should be, it's going back to like priorities, right? Like that should be the most important thing. Like the internet has heard curse words before, right? Like, so to apologize to us because cussing is like.
Right, which is why I'm like, again, you don't have to give your private ones publicly if you don't want to, or maybe if the son doesn't want it publicly, that's on y'all. That's y'all personal.
Right.
So you probably should just not came to the internet at all to apologize to us, because in your apology you had basically admitted that you're not sorry to your son.
Yeah, which is very sad.
Which defeats the purpose. Also, for whatever reason, Steve Harvey's mustache decided to speak on this conversation, and he was like, I called Kirk. That's my boy. It's been my boy for a long time. He was in a place of hurt, and parents are allowed to cuss. If you don't have a grown son that's trying you, you don't have the right to tell parents how they can and can't talk to their son. And if you come at me, I'm gonna cuss you out even harder. Every single Black man has had to talk to his son like this, which gave me so much pain in my heart to think that you really think it's okay to justify. And he's like, well, his son is mad at him for not giving him the things he literally said his new family has. So Kirk Franklin, I'm guessing, was married or had his son and then got remarried, had new kids, right? And Carry On said, this is the last time I was allowed to take a picture with my family, right? So he hasn't seen, I guess, his step family in a long time.
I heard about that.
And Steve Harvey told us, because this ain't our business, we shouldn't even know this, but Steve Harvey told us that Carry On was and has been mad that basically Kirk does and did more for a new family than his original family, I guess you can call it, which would be hurtful for any child.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, which sounds logical.
Right. It would be hurtful for any child to be like, how did you give me dust? And then you give your new family the world, and then also I'm some sort of problem child, so you don't want anything to do with me. Mind you, this isn't out of Carry On's mouth, to my knowledge. Maybe he said something about this, but I didn't hear from here. We heard this from Steve Harvey, again, giving us business that ain't ours. And he just proceeded to say that Kirk Franklin does not owe anyone an apology. That he deserves because his son now, we don't know what kind of kid his son is. Then one of my big things, the entire conversation, so he talked for like 5 minutes to hear himself talk, and he just kept saying, when it was convenient, calling Carry On a boy, calling him a boy. This boy, hopefully this is still going, it says internet unstable, but anyway, this boy talking to his dad, and this boy recording his dad. He didn't have a right to record his dad. This boy, he needs to grow up. This boy. But then when it was convenient, he's a man, he shouldn't be recording. He's a man, he should be able to, take a good cussing out. It's like, how convenient that you, as a Black man, right, as Black people, we don't want to be called boy and girl, right? Because it's disrespectful. He is a man, and he's a man who has issues with his father, which Steve Harvey, to my knowledge, you are not his father. So you should actually probably shut the fuck up about who's allowed to have an issue with their parent. because you're not my parent. How can you tell the world what issues I have with my dad? That is for me and my dad to disclose if we want to. So I'm like, the fact is, y'all really be reading these Steve Harvey books while he's giving you advice. And you probably shouldn't, because again, he's on, you know, multiple marriage, multiple blended families. Nothing wrong with that. But also, you're not the person I want advice from. But then to get on God's internet and say, Steve Harvey don't owe you an apology. Everybody got to cuss their sons out. Everybody got to threaten their kids with putting your knuckles in their throat, because that's Black parenting 101. I'm sorry. In my humble opinion, capital punishment is not a good way to discipline your child. All you teach them is to fear you. You don't teach them to respect you, because my father never put his hands on me, has my utmost respect. My mama whooped my ass, has none of it. So being afraid of a belt or a hand or a punch or slap or whatever that, or cursing or yelling, none of that equates to respect. And that's maybe your problem when apparently every Black man has to have this conversation with their child, is maybe that's because you raised your child to not respect you. Maybe because you didn't raise them with discipline, you raised them with abuse. And again, those are things that we kind of need to unlearn and relearn, instead of continuing to pass that down generation after generation, because this Gen Z is not giving me, you can whoop me and it's going to be okay. Gen Z is giving me, you whoop me, I'm calling the police. So play yourself if you want to.
I was literally gonna say that, and so I definitely agree with you on the breaking those curses. And what's so wrong with that? Like, it's interesting on one hand to be progressive and like, let's defund the police. That is very progressive. That's very revolutionary. Why not do the same thing in our households, right? Like, I think about that Biggie Smalls quote, like, to change the world, we got to change ourselves. Like, let's change ourselves. Like, let's realize, hey, these things were harmful. Like, and again, taking time to reflect on the things that have been done to us. And I don't blame people for not, right? Like, I think we are always constantly running to the next thing, right? Even I'm on Instagram, we're constantly being stimulated. I'm at work, I'm looking at this story, and then the new story comes out. Now I'm on to Saweetie and Quavo breaking up. When it's like, if we took time to just reflect on things and say, you know what, that didn't work out too well, let's not do that, right? Like, I think there's nothing wrong with that. And the last thing I just wanted to say is that, based off of what you're telling me about Steve Harvey coming to the aid of his friend Kirko, Pinky Kirko, he is Sharon Osbourne. He is a Sharon. Okay, good to know.
Sharon Harvey.
Sharon Harvey it is.
Okay, and then next in my look back at it, we are talking about the Uber drama. Now, if you have seen the video, then you already know what we're talking about, but if you haven't, a brief rundown is there were a couple videos going viral of some disgusting women coughing on, berating, cursing at, calling names of their Uber driver, snatching his mask off, snatching his telephone in a global panini press. And the vehicle, so then another video came out that said, oh my God, he only posted the edited or shortened clip. Y'all have to see the whole thing, to which the young lady posts the whole thing, which only made them look worse, because you can see he is pulled over at a gas station and asked them to get out of their car. So the women claim that by him pulling over and asking them to get out the car, and when they refused and he said, all right, well, I'm just gonna go home, they claim that he was trying to kidnap them. So here we go. There were 3 passengers in the back of this Uber ride. Excuse me, can't freaking talk. And there is a 24-year-old named Arna Kimiai. I'm sure I said that wrong, but I gave it my valiant effort. Has been charged on multiple accounts. And one of the felonies that she's charged with is assault by means of force, likely to produce great bodily injury against a transportation driver. Other charges are first-degree attempted robbery on a transit operator, in addition to a misdemeanor count of battery on a transportation driver, and 1 count of contravention of a COVID-19 health order. If convicted, she could face up to $3,000 in fines and 16 years in state prison. Amen.
Oh, she's sick.
Which is better than her being an Uber rider, because she also faced all of those charges and a broken nose. So, the driver, Kadakas, he came here from Nepal 8 years ago. And, during this global press, is trying to provide for his family by offering Uber rides. He's 32 years old.
Of course.
These women, so not only did they curse at him, yell at him, snatch his mask off, snatch his phone, do all of these things because he literally asked you to wear a mask, which if you have ridden Uber in the last year and some change, you know, to ride Uber, you have to select before you even get in the car that you have to be wearing a mask. So the story allegedly is that he pulled up to pick them up, and maybe one of the young ladies either wasn't wearing her mask or she took it off in the middle of the ride or it broke or what have you. Whatever the case is, he picked up the young ladies and then asked them to, you know, wear a mask. One of the young ladies said she didn't have one. So he pulled over to a gas station and told her she had to get one because she had to wear one to ride in his car. She then insisted that he should have said that before she got in the car. He should have picked them up if that was going to be a problem. And that by bringing them to the gas station, they were dropping them off in the middle of the hood, in the middle of nowhere, even though they could have just called another Uber. And so decided that because he pulled over, that they could literally cough all over his face, rip his mask off, grab his telephone, etc. And then the Uber driver also says that once they finally did get out the car, that one of the young ladies sprayed pepper spray inside of his car through the passenger window as she was exiting. This, if you saw the video, like the most disgusting behavior. And I was trying to think before I read the story, just seeing the video, what could anyone have done to me to deserve me coughing on them?
Right.
Ripping their face mask. It is fucking a global pandemic, and people who are delivering food and transportation drivers, etc., essential workers, essential, especially for your comfort and your benefit. Bitch, you're in Miami, you didn't have a car, so you Ubered. Or not Miami, in San Diego. I don't remember where they were. Anyway, whatever the case is, they didn't have their car. So he's doing you a favor, right? When you're paying for it, but he's doing you a favor nonetheless. He doesn't have to subject himself and his body and his health and his family to getting sick for you. And I was like, what would somebody have to do to me, for me to cough on them and rip their mask off? And the only thing I could think of is like punching me in the face. Like, I literally cannot think of anything somebody could say to me that would make me want to like cough on them.
Yeah.
It's literally the worst behavior I think I've ever seen, especially from somebody 24 years old. Like, I'm looking at the video thinking they're like 18, still be unacceptable, but I'm like, okay, these two girls are probably young, right? Teenagers, dumb girls. 4 years old, and then had the nerve, when she was getting drugged for it for filth on the internet, had the nerve to go on live and say, my boyfriend told me never let nobody disrespect me and this and that. There, she's calling them all kinds of niggas and everything else. Young ladies, not black, niggas and everything else, and how if she was a different bitch, she would have whooped his ass. And then she was like, yeah, I wasn't wrong for anything I did. I mean, I shouldn't have coughed on him. That was out of pocket, but I wasn't wrong.
What does that even mean? What are you saying, girl?
Use black vernacular, because how are you out of pocket and not wrong? Riddle me. I want to know.
Yeah.
Also, anytime you are coughing on a person's face, you are always wrong. Literally every time.
Even if you're not in a panini press.
But to be like, hey, he pulled over. Literally, you have to wear a mask to ride in there. If you've flown on a plane, if you've taken an Uber, if you've gone in a restaurant, you have to wear a mask during a global panini press. And you decide to either not wear one or take it off. And then when he goes out of his way to take you to a store, because I would have just said, okay, well, then get out immediately. Yes, right. 77, get out anyway.
Right.
Gas station for you to buy another one, and you say, no, you shouldn't let me in the car. You shouldn't let me in the car if it was going to be a problem. And then start coughing on this man. Bitch, you deserve, I'm not say 16 years, because prison is not really my cup of tea, but you certainly deserve maybe to have your head shaved and then work a highway cleanup for the next year and a half of your life, at least.
Yeah.
And then because they sprayed that shit in his car, Uber's like, oh, well, here's $120 for you to have your car cleaned up. Nigga, my goddamn eyes. A bitch pepper sprayed me. You talking about $120 to clean my car. But it's like, I'm sure he didn't ride for the next day, so that's lost wages on his behalf. Not only maybe because it ruined his day or ruined his mood, like they physically assaulted him. Like, how traumatic to have your face mask ripped off and somebody literally cough on you. Like, yeah. I would have lost.
It makes you not want to go back to work.
So motherfucking traumatized, or just, wary, being like, can I take the risk of people being this belligerent and then coming home to my family? Can I take that kind of?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm not gonna say Uber owes him all that money, but he should sue the britches off them bitches. Literally all three of them. Even the one that just sat back and didn't do shit also deserves her britches sued off, because why would you have friends like that? You should be sued for having friends like that alone, first and foremost. To just be sitting there while your friends are coughing on somebody and destroying their property. No, I wouldn't. I pray to the Lord that nobody that I know in their very worst of spaces would ever do that to somebody, because we not friends no more, sister. You gotta go. You cannot be associated with me. But two of the girls, the most rowdy ones, are facing charges, but the one that coughed is like facing the up to 16 years. And I don't know what her punishment should be. Maybe he should get the cough on her like 12 times and slap her.
No, I just know when I heard him talking about it on the read and Kid Fury said, put them under the jail. I was like, this be them times where as I position myself and closer to the realm, to the side of the spectrum of police and prison abolition, there are always those instances that slip between the cracks, right? Where I revert back to my old self who was like, oh, prison, a thing. Yes, send the people there. When I also saw this video, I said, this is one of those times where, since the prisons are here, go ahead. Because do you know, like, because talking about
abolished, while we've got an open room,
right? Because even like thinking about it, even in a karma aspect, we know how prison is right now as far as corona, right? Imagine somebody being in the car, and I got corona. Oh, well, now you're gonna go to jail. Have you heard about how corona is in jail? You're gonna wish you had never. And I mean, it's sad because. And I was thinking about prison as a entity earlier, about like how, you know, punishment shouldn't, of course, be where our mind goes first, right? We want people to be rehabilitated so they don't create more harm later on, right down the line. And so it's not, I don't want to necessarily even be, oh yeah, put her under the jail. I don't, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, the worst part of who I am is like, yeah, send her ass to the COVID floor, because clearly.
Assuming she has no prior record, right? Assuming she's been a good girl, good person most of her life, right? As a judge or jury, however it's going to work out in their court hearings, whatever, to have seen that behavior, I would have been livid and already on the Uber driver's side. But then to see the fact that you went on live, you went on the internet after it occurred, when you had time to think about how fucking wrong you acted, you insisted on, I would do it again. I should have slapped his ass. Why? Because he told you to get out of his car? Bitch, I have the right to tell you to get out of my car. It's a global pandemic and you took your mask off, or you broke it, or weren't wearing one. Like, either way, I have the right to tell you to get out of my car. And he took you to a gas station, bitch. And the thing is, so this is what gets me, right? The gas station was in the hood. We could have got kidnapped. But you're on the internet with all this rah-rah, like you're so tough and so gangster, and that you could have slapped him, beat him up, or your boyfriend taught you woot-de-woot. I thought you was gangster. Why the fuck you can't get out at a fucking public gas station because it's in the hood? Bitch, you're hood too. You should be fine, right? Also, again, you could order another Uber. Like, I would never be that pressed to be like, damn, my Uber kicked me out. I'm just so livid. I'm going to ruin everyone's day. I would just be like, my mask broke, or I forgot to wear one, or whatever the fuck. I'm drunk, so I forgot to put one on, whatever the fuck. Get out the car, order another Uber. But then the dumb bitch is like, that's why I take Lyft. That's why I take Lyft. That's why I take Lyft. And then Lyft was like, actually, you are no longer allowed to ride with us either. We stand with Uber. It's a no for us, girls. So Uber has banned whoever hailed the ride, and I guess I'm assuming now that they know her name, if she isn't the one who hailed the ride, then she'll be kicked off either way. But I was like, how embarrassing. Because if you do get out of prison, or if you don't go, and you go out somewhere with your friends, and they be like, can somebody call an
Uber? Not I.
Well, definitely, because I coughed in someone's face. I'd be like, bitch, you gotta go. You can't be nowhere around me. Embarrassing.
Yeah,
embarrassing. I know her. I know anybody with any kind of sense that knows her is embarrassed to know her. Just a trash person. I was seeing people like posting like, oh yeah, she was my roommate, and yeah, she's a dirty girl.
I could see that. I could see that.
She's a girl in general. I don't know if that person really was her roommate or not, but I was like, you are an embarrassment to humankind. Who the fuck acts like that? I hope that she definitely gets in trouble, and I hope it is something that is very eye-opening for her. I don't know about prison time. I don't know exactly how that's going to work out for her, but she should certainly pay all the fines, and all of the fines should go to him.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, because he's lost wages because of it.
Yeah.
Embarrassment. Get out.
Absolutely. Indeed. All right. So we are ready for Blank While Black, which I actually have one for the first time in my life.
Oh, okay, Queen. Well, you go ahead since I had the Uber story.
Okay. Did you know Mena was Black?
No.
Erica Mena has come under some fire, if you will.
Wait. As an unofficial Black gatekeeper, I'm gonna need to see photos of parents because Cardi has hoodwinked us into letting her say nigga. Danny Lay has hoodwinked us. Where are your parents? We want to see the Blacks.
Apparently, Erica Mena has never been Black before, but let me tell you what happened.
Okay, what had happened?
There's this business called The Crowned Lady, and some Instagrammer DM'd them and said, because they're promoting as a Black-owned business. I think either on their, maybe their like official website or on the Instagram page somewhere, it says like, this is a Black-owned business. And the person was like, hey, who's the owner of this business? And they was like, oh, we don't want to get it. I think they might have said it first, maybe like why, and they were like, oh, because I want to make sure this is a Black-owned business. I can't remember if that was in there or not, but anyway, they get to, they keep going back and forth, and they're like, basically, we don't want to give out the information because we are a small business. And the person was like, before they said because we're a small business, they was like, well, I can look at who the CEO of Google is, so why don't I go tell you who owns this business? So they was like, oh, it's because we're small and we're not Google, and if you feel unsafe, just don't shop with us. And they was like, I'm gonna tell my followers, I think they basically was like, I'm gonna tell my followers that y'all lying about being back on because I know Erica Mena own this shit, and we out. And so I think I should have relooked at it before we started recording. But basically, Erica, I think they posted it on a different Instagram page, and then Erica Mena commented back to somebody basically saying like, if y'all was so pressed, why didn't y'all just hit me up and ask me personally? And as you swipe through the whole post, they have a screenshot. No, I'm sorry, my bad. As you swipe through the post, they have screenshots of the payment, right? Like how you'll say like, oh, this payment went to PayPal, da 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 da, and it says this payment from the Crown Lady, right, went to Mena Million Inc. Mena Millions Inc. Mm-hmm. And then when you swipe again, and it was like Mena Millions Inc. is owned by Erica Mena.
Okay.
And so she was like, I just go hard for my people. This is a family/friend-owned business. And because at first I was like, you know what, maybe this is just a misunderstanding. But then when I saw the Mena Millions Inc., I was like, so you don't own it, but the money is coming to you first.
Wait, so she said she didn't own it?
Yeah, she was like, basically like, I just go hard for my family and friends. Like, no, I don't own this business. Because the business was saying, no, Erica doesn't own it. She just promotes for us.
Oh, okay.
But then when you pay, it says that the payment goes to Mena Millions Inc. And then there was another screenshot that said that Mena Millions Inc. is owned by Erica Mena.
Okay, well, that sounds conflicting because I don't know if she has ever said I am Black or I'm part Black or whatever. I couldn't tell you. Haven't watched anything she's been on.
Yeah,
quite some time. Probably first season of whatever she was on. But looking at her parents look like those. Like her dad is not Black. He's Dominican though, and her mom is Puerto Rican, and she looks like she could be Black. Like she could be biracial. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So maybe Erica considers herself Black. I don't know. Are you saying like she never has, or that
I feel like because like I just saw people in the comments saying like, why didn't you just say it was a Latino-owned business? And I feel like I heard someone say, and I can say that it's an official source. So I feel like I heard basically someone allude to the fact that it's like Erica Mena never said she was Black. I feel like she one of the girls that be like, I'm Latino until it's time to be Black.
Yeah, honestly, that's what Cardi used to do. She used to never say she was Black, and Danny Lay also like never say they Black, but then all of a sudden when they like, well then why do you say nigga? Oh, because I'm Afro-Latina. And I'm like, then why didn't you say you were Black? Like we didn't ask where you were from. Mm-hmm. We asked if you were Black. Like, do you have Black people in your family? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let me be clear. I don't know if Erica Mena identifies as Black or if she is Black, because I'm not going to sit here and act like I quite understand the boat just dropped y'all off at a different location. I know how the transatlantic slave trade has done the things to us and all of that, but I also know you have those privileges right within the community. So say Afro-Latina is Black, but you still have those privileges of, I guess, being able to pass as something else. So yeah, I don't know. I just, when I saw it, I was
sure she definitely doesn't give me I've had a Black experience by her appearance, but I could see her being part Black, but also I think we've had, if it wasn't me and you, it's definitely been me and Kalia, but had a conversation about people who want you to buy Black only because they have a Black business and taking advantage of the buy Black, support local, support small owned businesses. And then people are all of a sudden, I'm Black owned, but have never bought anything Black owned in their life. Or they take that same money that they get from Black people and be like, I'm only buying Louis Vuitton. And it's like, why do you want us to buy Black, but you're going to buy specifically and strictly white? Like, we don't see you supporting nothing Black except for your own brand and nothing else. Like, it's a slap in the face to people who are really like, I really need it and are really genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I absolutely understand what you mean. And so are you saying like, never mind, I was gonna say if she was a Black, if to not be Black, but be a Black owned business supporter, not to say it's okay to then market yourself as a Black owned business, but maybe that is not as bad as someone who is Black having a Black owned business just because they're Black, but not really giving a fuck about the Black owned business.
I guess it depends on the partnership that she has. I think it would depend on whether she has always claimed and supported being Black. You know what I mean? Like, because to ride whatever wave is beneficial is, again, it's a slap in the face of people who don't have the option to choose. Yeah. Even being biracial, no one has ever said, you're Black? Like, what? I could not see that coming. Like, if anything, when I say I'm half white, people be like, oh, I just thought you were a light-skinned Black girl. Like, I hear that all the time. So it's like, I don't have the luxury of being able to say, I've been mistaken for white, or been mistaken for, you know, a white Latino or anything. Like, I've never had an experience of anything other than Black. So it's a slap in the face to be like, I market myself as Black owned because I am Black owned. My struggle is Black. Every day I wake up, I struggle because of the fact that I'm Black, because of the fact that people, you know, only want to shop with Walmart, right? They won't shop with me for my fabrics type of thing. So it definitely is giving,
opportunistic? Yeah,
opportunistic as fuck. But again, like I said, it's something about, and I think I don't know because this is not my community, but I'm assuming that this stigma of Afro-Latino is something that is very like looked down really bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that people don't want to claim it until they're like, oh shit, okay, I can tell people I'm part Black. You know what I mean? Like, because if you are and you just never claimed it because it made life harder for you, I don't know how I can fault you, because I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it's like to be an Afro-Latino versus a Latino, and people being like, oh, you're one of the Black people that speak Spanish. Like, we don't want nothing to do with you. So you go through your life trying not to be further persecuted, which I can't be mad at somebody for not wanting to be persecuted. If you are white passing and you don't take advantage of white privilege, maybe that's, you know, bad on your part. Maybe you should be taking advantage of your privilege in whatever case it is, but that's a tricky one. That's one that I can say is like, the gray.
Yeah, I understand. Like you said, it's hard to speak to it because you don't know the experience. I don't know. Like I said, and then again, I just want to make it clear, like, I don't know what she identifies as. I just, like I said, when I first saw it, I was like, and then just her response to it, basically saying like, I don't own this business, to me is also saying like, yeah, but y'all ain't gotta be mad because that ain't me. I just promote, you know what I'm saying? So I guess to me that made me think, well, maybe she doesn't.
She's giving very conflicting information, because if you don't own it, but the money comes to you, even if it's only in part, like maybe she only gets a percentage of it. It's like, okay, well, you're still a co-owner. But I kind of saw that in a business early in Black Lives Matter movements, where people were, you know, support Black and buy Black for the first time in their lives for whatever reason, you know, oh, buy Black. I saw there was a business that was like, owned by 3 people. 2 of them were Latinas, not Black Latinas, and the other one was a biracial woman who identifies as Black. And people were giving them shit because they were like, this isn't Black owned, this isn't Black owned. She's like, basically, I own a third of this business, therefore it is Black owned. And people were like, well, it's not majority Black owned. And people were giving tit for tat over how much ownership goes to the Black person, right? And I was like, see, this is where things start to get tricky, because it does come off opportunistic. Now, I happen to know about this individual and the brand that they've always been very supportive of the community. There's no, oh, well, this is a page for body con dresses, so we can't be posting Black Lives Matter on here. We'll post that on our personal pages only. No, their page has been very conscious from what I've always seen, for LGBTQIA communities, to Black communities, to Hispanic communities, to women businesses. They've always been very supportive. So it's kind of like, well, I can't fault that. But it's more of people coming out the woodworks of those, hey, buy Black, only because you have a Black business and you don't even support that community in the way that you circulate your dollars. So it's disrespectful as fuck to ask me to give you my Black dollars if they're not good enough to furthermore buy my things, you know what I'm saying, or support me.
Yeah, It's a tangle web we weave, I suppose.
Yes,
ma'am.
To be Black and American.
Mm.
All right. Well, my blank while Black is a Georgetown law professor.
I saw this.
And her racist comments that got her snooped from a job during a global panini press. And I think she had been working for the college for like 20 years. So damn, sister, you gotta stop recording
bag. The girls will fumble the bag.
White people gotta stop recording themselves being racist. Like, I understand it is your right to be racist if you want to, but if you have a job, like, better not, you know? So last week, Georgetown University Law Center professors Sandra Seller and David Batson had a conversation about their students, which accidentally got leaked online.
Accidentally.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a colleague that didn't fuck with her. They was like,
either a colleague that didn't, but it was only between two people. So I'm like, either a colleague that didn't fuck with you, or you were literally so dumb you posted like some 2-hour conversation online and forgot that you said a racist bit.
Or you're so racist that you forgot you said something racist, and so you just posted it thinking, I'm just being me.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, maybe you didn't realize the fault. But either way, it was shared on social media where Sellers tells Batson that, quote, yeah, unfortunately, you know what? I hate to say this, but I end up having this, angst every semester. A lot of my lower ones are Blacks. Happens almost every semester. Now, Batson, he could have got away with this because he was just hitting her with a And she's like, oh, come on, sometimes you get really good ones, but then there are also those that are just plain at the bottom, and it drives me crazy. Boot to boot. Basically just Black people score the lowest, or they're my worst students, etc. So Sellers was fired. And Batson, the school decided to do an investigation on it, so he resigned before he could be fired. Where this conversation came from, again, I don't know if this was part of a 2-hour-long conversation they had with each other, and, obviously the racist part is going to go viral. That's stupid to do, guys. But yeah, it's just like, this is not new to Black people. Anytime we talk about blank while Black, we are never saying anything new or anything that shocks, at least not Sid and I. It doesn't shock most of our, listeners, most of our roommates. These are things that we already know. Our teacher's racist? Yes. The fuck? Like, we know that when Black students quote unquote act up in class, right? You could be 6 years old. A child, right, gets sent to the principal's office, or in some cases, which we've seen and we've even talked about on the show, have the cops called on you as an elementary school student, right, because you're a Black student, versus the white students getting a little slap on the wrist, or, hey, Tyler, I'll call your mom, or I'll tell your dad when I go play golfing with him this weekend, you better quit playing with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we already know that little white students get a pass, but now we're looking at college, and we already know it's already so hard Black people getting into college, right? All of the struggles that we face in that realm, and then have the nerve to be like, now that you're here, I will also assume that you're my dumbest student because you're the Black one. And I already know that if I get 10 Blacks, I'm only going to have one really good one, one of the good ones, one of the good Blacks, and then the rest of y'all are going to be dumb and not worth my time. It's like, girl, Miss Sellers, Professor Sellers, you really sold yourself out on this one, because that was just, again, we already know that, but it's like we talk about the biases of standardized testing, right? We talk about all of these things that's like, we already know that even in education, and clearly even when you're at one of the most prestigious law schools in the world, you're still going to be met with the racist bias that says, I can keep you out of your preferred career. I can keep more Black people from becoming lawyers because I'm a racist little shit.
Yeah, the best part for me was, I hate to say this, and I was like,
yeah, I'm sure it pained her to say it. I'm sure it did.
You did not hate to say it, because I always hated when people go, I hate to write you up. No, you don't, because if you did, nobody does shit.
No offense, but here's something offensive.
Yeah, that, and then the Blacks.
Yeah.
That is always an indicator that you might have a robe in a closet somewhere.
Yeah, the dean responded by saying there is no place for bias in our grading process or anywhere in our community before firing that bitch. So she attempted to resign also, I guess, and got fired. And it's just like, I mean, I don't even know the order of that, like, hey, you're fired, or hey, I resign, because you be trying to beat people to the punch. Well, I have. I've only been fired / one time, but be trying to beat bitches to the punch. No, can't fire me because I quit. But yeah, good riddance, sister. Good luck getting another job now that you've gone viral for being racist and probably grading students racist and assuming the worst of them. But, you know, consequences. You may do whatever you want. You may say what you want. Like people like to say, oh my God, our freedom of speech is being taken away. Okay, Kyle, if you say so. But just know that for every action, there's a reaction and there's consequences for the decisions you make.
Absolutely. Sucks to suck. Well,
It sucks to suck.
I guess I wish you well, but just not anywhere where you are interacting with Black folks and you have power of some sort, because we know what that can do.
Right. I literally only wish you well at Trader Joe's. That's what I got for you. All right, moving on to Say What Now. And this week's Say What Now, we have a 25-year-old father who has been arrested and being charged with child cruelty and a host of other charges basically having to do with trespassing. What did this 25-year-old father do, you may ask? Well, at the San Diego Zoo, this father climbed inside of an elephant enclosure that had African elephants, climbed over a fence and then under the secondary fence for the enclosure with his 2-year-old child to go stand directly in the middle of the elephant environment to take a picture with his 2-year-old.
Oh, you got to do it for the gram.
Obviously. And then the elephant screamed at him in elephant language and charged at him. And so the second enclosure was kind of like a really tall boxer ring, right? Like with the ropes, like you got to crawl under, whatever. So this nigga goes to run under the enclosure, like to get out as the elephant is charging him, probably about to stomp on him and his youngin. Drops the goddamn baby.
What?
He dropped the baby trying to climb out the pit.
He pulled a Kevin Hart. He was like, have you ever heard that joke? Kevin Hart was like, we were running. Yeah, I dropped the baby. I dropped the baby. Because he literally was at the zoo, the joke. He's at the zoo and some animal gets down. He's like, I dropped the baby. So he pulled a Kevin Hart.
Yeah, he absolutely did. Dropped the goddamn baby. And then, scrambles to pick him up and gets out just in time, if you will.
Just in the nick of time.
Leaves the exhibit to get arrested expeditiously, because why the fuck were you in there? And second of all, why did you take a baby into a wild animal's cage? And so, sir purposely and illegally trespassed and subjected his child to danger. And so,
can you imagine being that child?
He got booked. Can you imagine telling your partner, wife, whoever the second owner of this baby is, right? I dropped our baby in an elephant exhibit. Are you kidding me? And don't even get me on when he got to tell the grandmas what he done did to their grandbaby. Like, sir, why the fuck? It is. First of all, it's a global pandemic. To be at the zoo is already, you're doing a lot as far as
to be at the zoo in general, animal prison.
Already endangering children, already glorifying prison, and now you're going to be in one. So you didn't really think that through. I know that elephant is like, you goddamn right. I didn't ask you to come in here into my prison, and now you may go to your own.
Right.
Say what now are the people taking their children into animal exhibits.
Absolutely. All right. Moving on to Sexpectations.
Oh, God. What do you have, Sydney? I don't like this smile.
I get the Cabbage Patch, and y'all can see it now. Oh, no, it's not. Actually, it's not nothing crazy this time. Okay, so, wow. It's a little dark in here. Sorry, y'all. I was like about to tell a ghost story.
No, put it down.
Okay, I'm done. All right. So my question is, why do we normalize suffering as a part of a relationship? So a quote that I thought of, and I'll tell you the real quote that inspired this. And I'm gonna turn this light off in a minute. Let me see. Here we go. Give me a little light. Oh, he or she is my headache. When people say that, like I was like, that's such a weird.
My old ball and chain.
Right, but what made me want to ask this was, one of Aisha's good Judies, Khloe Kardashian. You know you like the Kardashians.
I like watching the Kardashians.
You be watching that show, and you want.
And you like watching trash on your end. Hello.
I'm sorry. No. The trash I watch is Black people, not Black culture vultures.
I'm dead.
So Khloe Kardashian posted.
I'm dead.
It was a happy birthday post for Tristan, and in the post she said, "The ones that are meant to be are the ones that go through everything that is designed to tear them apart."
That's right. We better suffer.
To which, okay, first of all, you know, with the first quote that I said, like, "Oh, he or she is my headache," because some people might be like, "Oh, y'all reaching," but if you ever read a book called The Four Agreements, talks about being impeccable with your word, right? So saying things like, "He or she is my headache," it's not being impeccable with your word, and I feel like in terms of how that book is framed, the framework of the ideology in that book is that what you say is like casting a spell or casting a curse, right? So like to be, "Oh, he or she is my headache," it's like you're speaking that negativity over your life, right? And so correct me if I'm wrong, because what I heard on the streets is that Tristan sent Khloe into early labor with his alleged cheating and things. To which that was, of course, the first place our mind went when I heard her say, like, "Oh, all the things that are designed to break you." And I'm just like, I just don't know where we got the idea that kind of suffering is just a normal part of a relationship. And again, I know, you know, you and I think we feel differently about cheating and things like that. And that's okay, right? And it's not a make or break for everyone, and that's her business. But it's just to be like, "Oh yeah, the things that are designed to break you, those are the people who make it through that. That's the ones they're supposed to be together." Like, I'm just like, and then why is it always us? Because niggas will drop us like a bad habit if we cheat on them, okay?
Hello?
Ain't no getting back together.
And don't, bitch, I wish the fuck you would have an outer relationship baby on a nigga.
Okay.
Men be having side babies and the moms be like, I mean, this is tearing apart my family, but I also love this extramarital child. Whole time, don't kiss, don't text, don't hold a hand with a different nigga that ain't yours, but have a baby, get pregnant. Oh no. You'll never see that nigga again, even if y'all got kids together. You'll never see him again, ever.
Yeah, right. So yeah, Queen, what do you think? What do you think about this? Because somebody said that, and that's what made me want to bring it up on the podcast. Like, do we normalize suffering in our relationships?
Absolutely. And I think that I might even disagree only a little. Not send me into early labor or anything, but I think that with all relationships, there is some degree of suffering because you're not going to be automatically someone's, you know, exactly what they need. You kind of have to teach people how to treat you or teach people how you want to be treated because everybody is different. But to the degree that Miss Khloe is talking about, I can't and shan't relate on any level. I'm just trying to think of what sending me into early labor, whether he did or not, he cheated on her and then she was in labor like 4 seconds later. But sending me into early labor when I was already having a problematic pregnancy, she said she almost miscarried, true. Cheating on me right I'm about to go in labor. Then I'm at home nursing my baby and you out here making out with my little sister's bestie. Just incredible. And these are the only things that were captured on camera and that we know that she knows, right? She probably, I'm sure, knew a whole lot more than that, or I'm sure that he did more than that, because I doubt that those two instances would only be at her most incredibly vulnerable time. Like what else was happening before she was at her worst, right?
That's true. Good question.
I have no idea. Like, I think that people are forgiving, and I would hate to say that that's a flaw of theirs, right? To be forgiving. Like, I would not want to call that a flaw of somebody. But I think the flaw is more in the expectation that women have to be extremely resilient to all of your bullshit, right? Or your partner, I guess, however you want to word it. But I think it's usually women that have to deal with so much from men or from their partners and be like, okay, so you cheated 14 times. Like, you're so mad at him? Like, he cheated on you 14 times and you're upset? Like, you can't forgive a nigga? Goddamn. In which we do know Khloe can forgive a nigga because boy will she. Yeah, I don't know. I think that I think we talked about it last week. Like, we just give our partners way more chances than we do our friends or anybody else in our life. We give our partners a lot more. I mean, she forgave Tristan, and Chloe and Jordan, bless the heart, has never gotten an apology to my knowledge.
Right. Wow.
You know, people are still expected to hate her, which we don't. Okay. I ain't never gonna be mad at Jordan, and that's why she got her own baller base. She don't need yours. But yeah, those are my sentiments, I suppose.
Queen, do you have a Sexpectations for thine?
Yeah, yes, I do. And this Sexpectations is more a relationship question. You know, I'm the wholesome host.
I was wholesome today.
So I wanted to talk about the Saweetie and Quavo conversation.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes. So if you don't know, let us give you a brief rundown, because if you have eyes and ears, you probably know. Which order exactly it happened in, as far as when it got released to the internet, I'm not really sure. So Saweetie went on whatever the fuck the show is called, with Justin LaBoy and Justin Combs. She went on there, and there was an interview, and they were talking about basically relationship questions, sex questions, and pretty much every question. Saweetie never mentioned Quavo, right? And we know her to mention Quavo every chance she gets. She loves this man, right?
Okay.
Always talking about their sex life. Always talking about how happy she is, how good of a boyfriend he is. So every single question, she's dodging mentioning his name. She's taking shots instead of answering questions. They like, hey, when your boyfriend X, Y, and Z, she kind of made it like, if I had one type shit. And people were like, why is she swerving on these questions? It's so weird. So then the next day, she releases a statement saying that she's single, that she has been betrayed, and bad things have been going on behind her back for a long time, and she's happy, she's moving on in peace. Quavo took to the internet to say, I cannot believe you're putting on a show for these people. Also, you're not the women I thought you were. I'm done. Well, that's the women. Yeah, that's the problem. It's the plurals for Saweetie Quavo, because there's an interview that she did maybe like 2-3 years ago with someone on the internet that said basically it doesn't matter how much money somebody makes, basically, if they cheat on you. And Saweetie said it doesn't matter if he's a millionaire, hundredaire, billionaire. If you cheat on me, I'm out. I'm not staying with no cheater. I don't like cheaters, because that means they're automatically a liar. I'm not staying with no cheater, liar, no matter how much money he has. Which is evidently true, because the queen says, cut this nigga loose. And then he, you know, after he says all this, she says, take care, peace out, Cub Scout, and moving on with her life. I'm sure her DMs are in complete shambles. But I wanted to talk about niggas taking the side of the man, like they always do, but taking Quavo's side to say, so let me backtrack a little bit. In her interview with Justin LA Boy, Saweetie went viral because he said, okay, if your man is doing everything right, the best boyfriend you've ever had, would you give him a threesome? And she said, ooh, okay, that's spicy. Ladies, y'all hear this? If he's the best boyfriend I ever had, does everything right, gives me money, takes me shopping, got a big dick, good sex, and he wants me to give him a threesome. Okay, I'll let him choose the nigga we can have a threesome with. Wow, men up in shambles. And you know who the first one was? Boozy Badass. Up in shambles. They're all adding Quavo.
Oh, no.
Throw this bitch back to the street. She's a whore. She wants to be trained on. Bitch is a slut. Get rid of her, Quavo. Get rid of her. All these men taking his side.
Of course.
So, obviously, okay, first and foremost, if you're a woman, you've probably said this before to do your dating or to whoever the fuck asked you, because it's tiring to be like, if I'm not bisexual and I'm not into anything other than monogamy, why the fuck would you ask me to give you a threesome? It's disrespectful, not only because I don't want to eat coochie, or I don't want somebody to eat my coochie that's a girl, right? I only want my boyfriend. I'm also monogamous, so I only want to be with my man, whatever. It's disrespectful to ask your partner for a threesome if you know that's not her interest. You just want her to give it to you because you're a good boyfriend. Like, why y'all want to apply fish for swimming? Why? And so she says, okay, I'll point out the nigga that I want to have a threesome with. And men are just livid. Like, they can't believe she's such a whore. And I'm like, for one, I know this was sarcasm, but even if it wasn't, Why is that not fair? Why would that not be fair?
Right.
If she doesn't like girls, but maybe she likes extra niggas, why can't she ask for a threesome with multiple dudes? Oh, because you're not gay, right? Oh, because you don't want to share your girl with another nigga, right? Maybe she don't want to share her man with another bitch. You ever thought about that?
You know,
So then allegedly Quavo took back his Bentleys.
I
just have to say, you gotta be an extra type of cornball to take back a present that you gave. Unless, of course, sweetheart, you are just flexing for the gram and you couldn't actually afford it and you're making payments on it, and therefore you don't want to make payments on something your girlfriend or your ex-girlfriend has.
Yeah, so, it was a lease. So.
Are we balling out of control or are we not balling out of control? I don't know which one the answer is, but either way, it was very corny to take back your gift. But I want us to talk about basically what you said, the ball and chain situation. Why do niggas think it's okay to bash women for the same things that they want?
Yeah, I don't know. I actually was having this conversation with a friend of mine because, of course, you know, I knew first of all, the lead up was amazing. And I agree with you too. I think she was really just being facetious. I think she was really just being really entertaining. But like you said, let's play devil's advocate and say she was being serious, right? I knew that
like the whole interview, if you watch it all, which we know people don't do all the research. If you watch the interview, she is being sarcastic the whole time. Every time they say something dumb to her, she says something dumb back. She's keying with, so in this interview, they have like just random people in the audience, right? They're like on a rooftop or something, or at someone's house, I don't know, but they have random people in the audience. Everyone's laughing, everyone's getting, but of course the internet men go up into flame because they cannot believe this bitch wants to be trained on. I'm like, and I think that's what she was saying.
Right, and I think in this, what I was talking about with my friend was that we always make the woman centered thing, if you will, the negative thing, right? Like, it's not a train if a man has sex with two women. The two women can't possibly be running a train on the man. But if it's a female having sex with two men, then it's a train. Then it becomes this negative thing, right? And it is very sad. But it just goes to show that we hate women. We don't treat them right. We come up with all these different, like you said, like, it should, like, the same way you would have reacted, because nobody would have did that if she had just hit up with I wanted to have a threesome with Tiana Taylor because everybody knows Tiana fine. So if she said that, it would have been okay, all right, we good. But it's a whole situation.
If she said I wanted Iman Shumpert, it would have been a problem.
Whole situation, because she said, oh yeah, let's have a threesome with a guy. Like you said, again, I think it's very weird that it's okay to expect a woman to be performative, bisexual, performative, lesbian, or just performative into women just to please you, but you're not willing to do the same for her. Like, again, for me, it's really just a hypocrisy. Like, again, we just pick a side, right? If we don't call it a train, it's a train, whether it's two women and a man or two men and a woman. Cool. If we're not gonna call it a train if it's a man, and we're not gonna call it a train if it's a woman. If we're not gonna get up, because she said Tiana Taylor, then we're not gonna get up because she said Iman Shumpert. So.
Right.
I don't know. Again, I think the simple answer is y'all don't like women. Y'all want us to do things that y'all are not willing to do. Because you know me, I said I'm not into the girls. It's not my thing. So therefore, if a dude, when we having a threesome, don't ask me to have one with another female, because I'm gonna be looking at you like, no, ma'am, you better call Tiana. I think Tiana's into the things. There you go. But yeah, I don't know. I think we just don't like women. Women are here to serve men, not the other way around, right?
Absolutely. And here's the thing. He was like, if he's doing everything right, woo-to-woo, would you give him this one little thing he asked for? And it's like, for one, that's not a little thing.
It's not.
For two, why do I have to give him something for being such a great boyfriend? Because I'm assuming if he's being a great boyfriend, it's because it's reciprocal energy, right? Like, I'm being good to you, you're being good to me. Like, why is it like he's being a good boyfriend? He hasn't cheated on you all week long.
Right. The bar's in the gutter.
Supposed to.
Bar's in the gutter.
It's in hell. The hell is the bar. It's the standard. It's hell. Hellfire.
Yeah. I would just like to say, when Saweetie said that, she became my favorite person, because I didn't expect Boosie and I only saw the interview. I didn't see the backlash from it. I did see a prominent follower basically say the whole, oh yeah, I used to run trains on females too. And me and Khalil were talking about it this morning, like, yeah, she's like, did you see that post by such and such? And I was like, girl, you know the man was gonna show up eventually. Like, you thought he had it all together, but the toxic masculinity is right. It's right around where the homophobia is. You know, you're enjoying your turkey sandwich, you're engaging in conversation, and out of nowhere someone says, yeah, that forced homosexuality in the Black community. You just be like, where did that come from? Whoa. I'm
We
just
didn't
enjoying.
ask you guys for this. We didn't ask for it at all.
Yeah, so,
In the words of my partner who reposted that Quavo allegedly took back her Bentley in the sneaky link of the night, repossessed it. This is not Glacier Boy activity. Not at all. Not Glacier Boy. And I was like, honestly, this is how you know she thought he was cute and was feeling him anyway. Because why the fuck would she respond to a nigga talking about something? I'm a Glacier Boy. Woo-hoo.
We should have known you was
said. When they was, you don't remember that post that went viral when they sending soup bowls and snowflakes to each other? We should have known this nigga was cornball. We should have known he was gonna take back Bentleys. That was giving I take back gifts energy.
I saw the snowflakes. I don't think I registered. Okay. Yeah. Wow. You know what?
That is not Glacier Boy activity.
Shout out to Sweetie for not being team this my headache and team suffering is a normal thing in a relationship. He said, and I want, because it's very sad, because I thought it was cool that she was basically like, yeah, you know, I can't basically suffer because of an idea that's not real. And I'm like, okay, sis. But you know, the people were upset that she was on the internet a couple months ago talking about, if he don't buy you a Birkin bag, he put the streets. And meanwhile, he bought her a Birkin bag, and I guess was still in the streets. But yeah. But maybe he wasn't when she said
keep your purses and send them back. Yeah, somebody else who was in a close situation with them basically said, oh yeah, he wanted Birkins, cars, everything back. And I was like, she may be a different type of bitch than me because she's rich and I can't, you know, rich people language is different than my own language. Right. But I ain't giving shit back. Not a goddamn car. I mean, unless it's got a car note, I'll give that back because I don't want the car note.
Yeah, I heard it was a lease, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, see, I don't think you can customize a lease, and he had it customized. Oh, okay. So I don't know if that's true or not. It could be. I don't know. Again, rich people talk, not my lingo.
Right.
But them Birkins is mine. I'm keeping those because I know he had to buy those. But I don't think you can lease a Birkin. I don't know. But if you lease that car, you may have it back. But other than that, I don't give back gifts. We'll never do that. Again, maybe if I'm a millionaire, maybe, but otherwise, I'm not giving back a gift. You got me fucked up. I don't care if you bought me some vegan chicken nuggets or if you bought me a Birkin. Either way, it's not coming back to you because it's mine now.
Yeah, I just want to say on a serious note that I hate to see people who were so in love yesterday do all of this right after you break up. Like, that's why
he's talking about, you're not the women I thought you were. Well, you shouldn't be messing with women, nigga. You were supposed to be monogamous. That was the rule. So I hope she's not the women you thought you was, because she's only one person. And then, okay, we have to cut this in a second because, you know, time. But I wanted to say that his sister got online talking about something. I've been quiet long enough. What y'all not gonna do is drag my brother. And we were like, sister, it's been 24 hours. How have you been quiet long enough?
I think, well, from what I took it as, I guess she thought the relationship was shitty because I saw her say something about Sweetie not who y'all think she is and all this other stuff.
Well, yeah, Sweetie was like, oh, I checked out weeks ago, which means I don't know if they broke up weeks ago. And because she went viral for this interview, because what happened was she went viral for the interview, but she went viral for saying the threesome part, right? Mm-hmm. I guess a lot of people didn't watch the whole interview to hear that it said that she was also dodging other questions about being in a relationship. So I guess people only saw that part. And so, of course, niggas were adding Quavo like, well, you got this loose hoe, this train running ass hoe, and woo. And so then she got on the internet to say, I'm single, guys. And he got on the internet to say she's not the women he thought she was.
Yeah, y'all, like, as we've said many a time in our living room on this good podcast, y'all don't actually like women. Y'all just don't, because the fact that y'all heard that little thing and was ready to run to his DMs to call this girl a hoe and a train running hoe and all that stuff, y'all just don't like women. Because why would you, no man that I would want to be involved with would ever fix his mouth to call any woman a hoe, a bitch. If her name ain't hoe, then you don't need to be calling her that shit.
Hello.
So,
hello.
I don't want no parts. Right, don't want no parts. Alrighty, Queen. It is time for Black on Black support.
Alrighty. You know, I do love some Black on Black support. I'm excited. I have one.
All right, I have two, but it's gonna be quick so it can be one. You want to go first? I want to go. You know.
Sure, I'll just knock it out. I wanted to give a big shout out to my other mommy, Queen Viola Davis, who prior to 2021 tied with Octavia Spencer as the most Oscar-nominated Black actress in history.
Octavia?
And as of this year's Oscar, is now the most nominated Black actress in history, with 4 Oscar nominations. So,
what was it for?
Ma Rainey.
Oh, okay. I'm sure. I haven't
So she got
seen
one
it yet.
for The Help, Hidden Figures, The Shape of Water, and Ma Rainey. So, shout out to my queen, Viola. Why are you making this face?
What did you said The Help? What did you? She wasn't in Hidden Figures. You talking about Octavia Spencer?
I don't think so.
Octavia Spencer was in Hidden Figures.
Oh,
but
I'm sorry. Yeah, those were Octavia Spencer's.
Okay, I was about to say, wait a minute. Now you know I be knowing my things. My actress
Wait.
said.
You better call me out. You better call me out, friend.
I'm trying to make sure I ain't trying to have you up here like Tia Fury and Crystal.
Okay, I fucked it up because they tied.
Mm-hmm. With those. Because they was in The Help together. That's cute.
Yes.
I did not, you know what's crazy? I feel like going back to the treatment of different people of different groups, right? Like with Octavia Spencer being a full-figured woman, like why did I not know that Octavia Spencer was the most nominated Black actress of all time? You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I know that Halle Berry won was the first Black woman to win an Oscar.
So those were Octavia's. Sorry, I forgot my words.
Are you trying to tell us about Viola's? Okay.
It's for Doubt, Fences, The Help, and Ma Rainey.
Okay, Doubt, Fences, The Help, and Ma Rainey. Yep. Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, I just want to know why I didn't know that, but I'm assuming it's because she's dark skinned, or maybe because she's full figured. But I feel like there's a reason why y'all ain't let me know that Octavia Spencer was the most nominated. Like how that.
Yeah, I didn't know. Actually, everything about that surprised me because. Not surprised, but I guess I just didn't know that when I first read, I'm like, oh my God, most nominated. But I got confused because I'm like, I mean, her career has been long, but I don't think that she's been like as famous to us as long. So I'm like, what all has she done? But then I realized that it was 4 Black actresses. So I was like, hey, so but still. Excluding men and excluding whites, 4 nominations, which I was like, that's kind of crazy. Because that's wildly low.
Wait, I'm sorry. Those are the only 4.
Yes.
And that makes her the most nominated?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm not gonna stay here long. I know this podcast is going a little long this time, but I'm gonna say real quickly, this is why I do not fuck with white award shows.
Right.
That's what I'm
saying. Like I was like, wow, only 4? Let's see. While you're talking, I'm gonna look up who has the most of actresses in general.
And yeah, I bet it's gonna be if it's a Meryl Streep, because I know Viola Davis is
probably
Meryl Streep. But you know what? Like you said, maybe Meryl Streep only got 5. Maybe it's all close. Let's hope. Because if that bitch got 10, I'm gonna whoop somebody ass at the Oscars. If she got 15, 20, because they be doing a lot of movies. So yeah, I mean, not Angela Bassett. I mean, it's Angela Bassett. Oh, Angela Bassett has never won an Oscar. Does that mean she's been nominated for What's Love Got to Do with It? Y'all know we love the movie things over here, okay? And we love our Black actresses over here, so I can't wait to get this good info. Wow, but congratulations to her in the meantime. I'm very happy for Viola. She's amazing.
Oh, okay. So I'd have to type in nominations. So she has 4 nominations. I think the only one she won was for Fences. An actress who won the most only won 4, but she won 4. So I don't know how many she was nominated for.
I wonder. Oh wow! So the person who has the most Oscars only has 4. Woman, yeah. Wow. That's still so crazy because even just now I was thinking about like Regina King having an Oscar. I know she just won her first, but it's just crazy because I'm like, if 4 is the most, then that means Regina must have less than that. And Regina, I will never forgive y'all for Regina King not winning an Oscar.
I just got mad.
For Regina King not winning an Oscar for a supporting role in Ray, because that
Queen, you're not gonna like this.
I learned a fire emoji.
Listen, the living room, we learned on together, okay? Meryl Streep has 21 nominations. 21 nominations to the most ever Black woman's 4. Are y'all high?
They always
what?
High. This is why I really wish that the BET Awards and just our award shows to us, because fuck them. I wish our award shows were just as prestigious to us, because they are never. How the fuck we ever supposed to catch up to 22 if Viola Davis only got 4? And that's Viola fucking Davis. And Angela Bassett don't got one, but what's love got to do with it? Let me tell you something. As I was saying, I will never forgive the Oscars for Regina King not having an Oscar for a supporting role in Ray, because fuck all y'all, that shit was amazing. I will never forgive y'all for Angela Bassett not having one, but what's love got to do with it? Because that is, if Brandy is the vocal Bible, what's love got to do with it is the acting Bible of Angela Bassett. Okay? I said what I said. Fuck the Oscars. We boycotting. Jada.
Mrs. Pinkett Smith. Question.
Yeah. I can't believe y'all. Okay. Wow. Well, yeah, shout out to Viola. Wow. Fuck the Oscars though. Honestly, at this point, even if she wins, I'm still just gonna be like at the Oscars. I hate y'all.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, how dare y'all? 4. But maybe Meryl Streep has been acting longer.
But like, Meryl Streep has 3, so she's almost to the record. But it's and then you're like, but that's Meryl fucking Streep. Like, where have y'all been sleeping this whole time? Yeah, that's wild. Big wild. Anyway, that was my Black on Black support that we took extremely long and then did a lot of research. Sorry about that, you guys.
That's okay, y'all. We had to talk about how y'all be disrespecting our Black acting queens, okay? Y'all, and we're tired of it. And my Black on Black support goes to 2 of my favorite Black YouTubers. As y'all have heard me mention the name.
They know Rodney. Whatever else you gonna say, they know Rodney.
Y'all have seen him on my story. If you watch my stories, I would like to shout out RodneyThaVoice on YouTube. He does pop culture. He does reviews of different reality TV shows. Just a good ass time. He is pro-woman, okay? He is pro the communities. And we stand a good king who fucks with women, okay? He be telling us to get our shit together, reading us for feels for being with these bummy niggas. And I can appreciate hearing a male voice on such a topic.
Amen.
And I would also like to shout out EricaDeniroTV, spelled exactly how it sounds. Also, somebody else I discovered because of Rodney, and another reason why I love him so much is because I'll watch one of their videos and they'll be like, oh, Rodney said, and I'll be watching Rodney videos. It's like, and Erica be like, and I'll be like, oh, y'all better cross support each other because now I'm watching Erica videos because of you, and I bet you her followers be watching him. So super dope to see like 2 Black content creators just supporting each other, bringing each other up. Like he be wearing her t-shirts and stuff. I just think it's super cool. So, and she does pop culture also, and also does reviews, just both like, and she's very like, love and light, protect your energy. Like every time she gets signs off, she'd be like, protect your energy, love yourself, I'm out. So yes, y'all, please go check them out if you love, anything hot topics, anything like, Married to Medicine, not Love and Hip Hop, but Housewives and things like that. They do reviews of all those shows and they're amazing. So that is my Black on Black support. Fuck the Oscars. We boycotting. #.
Amen. Okay. I just wanted to hit you guys real quick with book of the month. I decided to only read 2 this month so I can focus on some other goals. So I finished my 2. My first one was Midnight by Sister Souljah. Such a good Black ass time. And then I just finished reading Life After Death, and I'm not going to say too much because I know a lot of people haven't read it yet or gotten it yet. I just want to say, wow, the book really makes you think. And the first one is like, oh, it's a fun ghetto story novel. It's just fun. This one really got you thinking. And I was like, excuse me, Sister Souljah, why did you do this to me? But yeah, check it out because I want to have conversations about this book with people. But just so you know, it's very, very different from the first one.
All right. We stand a queen and book of the month. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just go ahead and say right now, I'm rereading the Malcolm X autobiography. Y'all know we stand a good king. I have read a good 7 or 8 books about Malcolm X, his books, his speeches, books about him, biographies, you name it. I've read it. And so I wanted to go back and start at the beginning. So yeah, if you haven't read the autobiography of Malcolm X, it is a life-changing book. So many people have had their life changed by that book, including Mark Lamont Hill, who said he literally changed his religion and everything off that book. So definitely check it out. It is an amazing, I would say canon book. Like I remember reading, and I'm gonna just say this real briefly about how there's a canon, right? The books that we go to, kind of like classics. And typically Black, like everything else, like the Oscars, fuck the Oscars, #fuck the Oscars. They leave us out of the things. And so this is in the canon, not the Black canon, the canon.
The canon.
So yes, please check that out. And with that said, we will move on to mental health check-in. Queen, my question for you.
Okay, a question.
What have you been doing during the pandemic to take care of yourself?
Okay. I have given myself a schedule. I don't always follow it, but who wrong with my ass? Me. But I give myself a schedule that includes all of the things that for me are helpful. So starting with waking up and praying and giving gratitude, working out, reading, and then studying, whatever that may be. So sometimes it's, every day it's Spanish, but often it's my monologues or, self-taping and stuff like that so I can work on my craft, yoga, and cleaning. All of those things are on my daily list that I gave myself pretty much at the start of quarantine so I wouldn't go crazy. And it has been very helpful for me.
That is wonderful.
How about you,
I
Queen?
stand that for you. Aisha and I are alike in a lot of ways, and we are dissimilar in some ways. Like the good queen has her schedule, and I stand her. I'd be like, I'm gonna do this, and this, i.e. I'm gonna sage, i.e. I'm gonna do yoga, I'm going to meditate, I'm gonna journal. And don't get me wrong, I do have structure, like I try to journal for 30 minutes. Sometimes I do it for a little less, but no, I would say no less than 20 to 30 minutes at the beginning of my day. On a good day, I do it before I go to bed also. But unlike you, and I'm sure I would be much more productive if I did do it that way, I'd be like, I'm gonna ease into all of this, which is why you can call me at 12 o'clock and I still ain't ate breakfast yet, because I'm still easing through my day.
Yeah.
But for me, because again, and I talk about this a lot, we go from thing to thing to thing all the time. And I feel like we're always rushing, and we don't, for me, speaking for myself, I haven't been present a lot, right? Like even today when I was washing my face, I literally took the time to be present, to feel what the water felt like on my hands. To literally be in that moment, as opposed to, oh, after I get done washing my face, I gotta know. I'm just washing my face. I'm just actually letting water run over my hands.
Yeah.
And that has been very peaceful for me. I also, will take time to myself when I need it. Like people will call me, I'll be like, phone on real D&D.
The queen will ignore the fuck. I on God. If they put a gun to your head and say, call your best friend, I'll be like, Mr. Potential Murderer, I may not call my best friend. She will not answer on the first or the last ring. You will kill me inevitably. Please let me call someone else. My grandma.
Shout out to our good Queen Diamond for letting me know that there is a second level to Do Not Disturb where no calls will come in. So
actually, fuck that. I need to talk to this Diamond character because you got me fucked up. I can never get through to my best friend no more.
But yeah, just giving that time to myself, like, and being in that stillness that I've referred to before on our podcast that Erykah Badu talked about, not necessarily always being stimulated, taking the time to turn things off, like not always listening to a podcast or listening to some YouTube video. Because, again, we focus on trying to better ourselves a lot, but sometimes it's just cool to just be here.
Yeah.
And listen to the things. So yeah, that's definitely what I've been doing. And I've been focusing more on the easing of things and focusing a lot on also the being present and really experiencing what I'm doing at that moment and being really intentional about it, even washing my face, like how it feels to wash my face. So that's what I've been doing. And it has been a blessing. I am thankful for it. Roommates, let us know what you have been doing to take care of yourself during the panorama, during the Panini Press. Queen, what do you have for mental health check-in?
Mine was just, I'm a firm believer that when your space is clean and it's organized and it's decorated the way that you want, you just automatically have a lot more peace in your life, because chances are you spend a lot of time at home, if not before the pandemic, especially now. So today, what I did for my mental health was my bookshelf. I have it arranged a certain way, but when I looked at it today, it seemed chaotic. And I was like, I need to bring order. I need to not only bring order, but then I need to do something that makes me feel like, oh, my place looks totally different. And for me, rearranging my bookshelf, because I have, mostly books, but then I might have a plant here, a cool wine bottle here, different knick-knack decor things. And I reorganized it today, and I made sure I wrote down all the books that I've read in 2019 and before, and then 2020, my 2021 book list, and then all the books after that are rearranged by like self-help books over here, books written by women are over here, nonfiction and stuff is over here. Like I organized it, if I do say myself, in pristine fashion today. And I literally just felt so peaceful. Like I felt peaceful doing it because I like activities like that. But when I took a step back and looked at it when I was done, I was like, oh, I feel calm. I feel proud of myself. It just resets me into a peaceful mode. And I need that for my mental health. I need to feel like I've accomplished things and my life has a little bit more order to it. That's what I like.
And I stand that. I definitely understand. And that's the thing. I was thinking about it when I was saying it, I was like, I might not be as productive. And that might just be this season. Maybe this season I don't have to be super productive. And that's okay. It's a panorama. And it's been a panorama for a year. So we'll get back to productivity at some point over here. But for now, I'm just going to we're gonna ease on by. All right, Queen. And we are about to take you out with these good affirmations. Do you have an affirmation, Queen?
Not really. Besides just write down the ones that you do have for yourself, whether it's I will make money today, I will be happy today, I will call someone I love, I will attract kindness to me, etc. Whatever it is that you have for yourself, write it down and make it plain. Like write it somewhere you can see it.
Yes.
That's something I do on a monthly ritual basis. But as far as like day to day, I don't really have one that I can see day to day. So I was literally thinking today that I want to find like a big picture frame and write them, you know me, in a pretty font of some sort and put them in a huge picture frame behind my toilet, just because. But this, I mean, it's somewhere I go every day, my bathroom. So just writing it down so you can see it every day. So remember to be proud of yourself, remember to be grateful, remember to step into gratitude, and remember to claim positivity towards you. Don't wake up like, God, I'm so tired. No. God, I get a new day. You know, whether I'm tired or whatever, get a new day. Thank you, Lord. Write it down, make it plain. That's my affirmation.
Absolutely. And I uplift that because when you said that, it reminded me of this YouTube video I watched where this guy was using markers and writing on his windows, his affirmations. And he does it every single morning.
Nice.
And so, so something I wanted to do, I didn't get a chance to do it today, was go get some dry erase markers. And of course, make sure that you can get I think online from what I read, you can get a dry erase marker and write on like mirrors or windows. And as long as you have a dry eraser, like that goes with the marker, it'll just come right off and you'll be good. And so my goal is to try to do it like every day. And I kind of rush to work, but if I can get on my schedule like I want to and be up early for work and then enough time to do those things to go into my day, even on the days that I do work, that's something that I want to start doing. Because I think, like you just said, seeing it and writing it, it's kind of like when back in the day we were in school and they were saying like when you write your notes, it's better than just highlighting or just reading them. It's something about writing it that really gets in your head. So I think taking the time to do it. Taking the time to do it daily and it being somewhere that you can see it. And even again, especially if you're going to be very present, like even taking the time to erase it, but okay, this is what I said I wanted to do today. And I'm thankful that I did this and da 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 da. So that is my affirmation. Also, I want to uplift what you said. We love y'all. We thank y'all for being here with us. Through the technical difficulties, this is the first time that we have done this, our full episode with visuals. We're going to try to use this audio for the podcast. Y'all let us know if you have any positive or negative feedback. If y'all ain't fucking with it and you want us to go back to using our good microphones, let us know. Thank y'all for being here with us. We've made it through a year in this panini press. We're going to keep on pushing. We're going to keep on doing what we got to do to get through this thing so we can get back to some semblance of normalcy. I have been Sid the Great. We're going to take y'all out to these good sounds. And thank y'all for letting me be here with you in the living room.
And I am EricaDeniroTV from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Sid loves how I say that for some reason.
Because she country as hell.
But yeah, thank y'all for being here. It's been lit. Don't forget that it's almost Aries season, aka a real bad bitch. You feel me? So feel free to DM me. Ask for my Cash App accordingly. But thank y'all for being here for real. Thank y'all for watching this. If you watch or listening, if you listen, let us know again about sound quality, visual quality. Let us know if it's something you want to keep doing, or if you like the visuals but you need our audios tuned up, we can make that happen for y'all. So just let us know. Again, I am EricaDeniroTV. Y'all have a good time listening to this wonderful melodic vibrational music as you go about your day, and don't forget to write those affirmations. Bye y'all. Get the fuck out of our living room. Bye.